Alright, grades. Welcome back. We are looking at Law 2. We're going to quickly look at Law 2 and then we're also going to look at the combination of Law 1 and 2. So firstly, the definition. When dividing powers with the same basis, we subtract exponents or the exponent of the denominator from the numerator's exponent. Again, bases do not change, they stay the same, and all exponents must be positive in your final answer. Okay, that part I'll talk about just now, and I'm also going to give you a easier way to think of the second law. Just think back again to the first law. There we spoke about multiplying powers with the same basis. Now we're speaking about dividing powers with the same basis, and what do? We subtract. So let's see how that works in practice. Again, let me get rid of the extra ones for now, so we can focus on one at a time. Right, over here, we've got x to the power 3 divided by x to the power 2. So what does my law say? Let's start with that little intermediate step again that I'm not going to keep writing, but for now I will. My law, by the word, says I need to subtract the exponent from the denominator's base from the numerator's exponent. So that means this would be the numerator's exponent minus the denominator's exponent. Okay, and 3 minus 2 is just going to give me 1 again. That power of 1 you can write or you can omit it. Either way is fine. Okay, so that is one part of this. Let's have a look at the next one before I show you a easier way to think about this. Alright, we've got x to the power 2 divided by x to the power 8. Again, I'm going to do this one in two different ways because like I said, I'm going to give you an easier way to think about the second law. My little intermediate step, I'm going to apply the law as it says. So we'll have x, we'll have the numerator's exponent, and we'll subtract the denominator's exponent. Now positive 2 minus 8 is going to give me a negative 6. Okay, but now we've got a problem. We've got a negative exponent. And just over here, we said that all our exponents must be positive in the final answer. So how do we get this to become positive? Well, that brings us back to the definitions and to this little section. I've got a negative exponent. I can move it, create a fraction, and move that base and its exponent to the denominator, turn it positive, and have a numerator of 1. So let's see how I would do that here. There will be a numerator of 1. The x will go to the denominator, and the power will turn positive. And that would be my final answer. But, like I said, this often confuses you, or confuses a lot of people. So let's look at an easier way to look at this. I'm going to say that whenever I'm dividing the same basis, I'm going to subtract the smaller exponent from the larger one. So in this case, 8 minus 2. And my answer goes wherever my larger power was. So have a look at how that works. Over here, I said I'm going to subtract the smaller power from the larger one. So there's the smaller one, there's the larger one. 8 minus 2 gives me x to the power 6. But my larger exponent was in the denominator, so I'm going to put my answer in the denominator. And if there's nothing left at the top, there will always be a 1. Okay, it can't be 0 because if it's 0 divided by anything will just be equal to 0. So there has to be a 1. Okay, so this is a different way of looking at it. You could have done the same here. Larger power is on top, subtract the smaller from the larger. 3 minus 2 is 1, and my answer is in the numerator. So it still works. Okay, let's see, I've got 6 examples. Now, have a look at the third one. This is the first, my denominator line, my fraction line. There we go. This is again going to be a case now of using S for signs, N for numbers, and then the variables that are the same basis. So we can start this already, and I can say that a negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive. I'm not going to write anything down in that case. 6 divided by 2, that can simplify, that will just be 3. It is 3 over 1 if you want to write the 1, but you don't have to. Let's see what happens with our variables first. Here's my similar variables or the same basis. So the x's are the same and the y's are the same. So those are the ones we can deal with. So sticking to my colors again, x to the power 3 divided by x to the power 1. I'm going to subtract the smaller from the bigger. So 3 minus 1 is 2. My larger power is in my numerator, so I'm going to put the x to the power 2 in the numerator. Moving on to the y. We've got y to the power 2 divided by y to the power 3. I'm going to subtract the smaller from the bigger, so 3 minus 2 gives me 1. My larger power was in the denominator to start with, so my answer goes in the denominator. Again, you can say y to the power 1, but it is unnecessary. And that would be my final answer. 3x squared divided by y. Let me see, where's the first time I'm going to experience? No, I'm not going to experience it. So I'm going to make a different note here. What about this? I need you to think about this for me for a second. What if I have x to the power 3 divided by x to the power 3? Okay. Now let's explore this for a bit. If I look at it at face value, you should be able to tell me, well, that's going to equal to 1 because I'm dividing the same thing by itself. Whenever I divide something by itself, it's equal to 1. Okay, but let's look at it from an exponential law point of view. It says that I'm subtracting the powers when dividing the same basis. So I have 3 minus 3. That's what I've got. If I subtract 3 from 3, that leaves me with 0. And what do we know about anything to the power 0? That is equal to 1. And that's how we end up with anything divided by itself is equal to 1. And it's all based in our exponential laws. But let's see if we can get through these last 3 examples quickly. We've got signs, we've got numbers, we've got different variables. So different bases. So again, let me highlight some of the bases first. The x's are the same and the y's are the same. So starting off this whole sum, I'm going to say it's a positive divided by, or a negative divided by a positive. So I've got one of each, so that means my answer is negative. Now 4 over 12, we can't actually divide, but we can simplify. 4 can go into itself once and into 12 3 times. So that leaves me with 1 over 3. This 1 here would not have to be written unless it's the only thing left in my numerator. If there's anything else left, so if there's going to be an x or a y left in the numerator, I do not have to write the 1. You can, once again, it doesn't make it wrong to write it, but you don't have to. Let's tend to our variables now. We've done the signs, we've done the numbers, now the variables. X squared divided by x to the power 4. Again, I'm going to use the shortcut and I'm going to say, well, let's subtract the smaller from the bigger. 4 minus 2 is 2. My bigger exponent was in the denominator, so I'm going to put my answer in the denominator. x to the power 2. And looking at the y's, y to the power 3 divided by y to the power 1. 3 minus 1, a smaller from a bigger, gives me 2. My larger power was at the top, so that is going to stay at the top, y squared. And that will be our final answer. Again, there is something else left in the numerator, so you can just say negative y squared over 3x squared. Or you can leave it as negative 1y squared over 3x squared. Both are acceptable, both are correct. Let's look at number 5. Now, there's no signs really involved because they're both positive. However, there are different bases that we are dividing different variables. So we need to deal with them separately. So x to the power 4 divided by x to the power 1. Smaller from a larger, 4 minus 1 is 3. Bigger one was in the numerator, so I'm going to put my answer in the numerator. Y squared divided by y to the power 3. 3 minus 2, smaller from the larger, leaves me with 1. The bigger one was in the denominator, so that leaves me with y to the power 1 in the denominator, or just y. Both are fine. And then our last one. Now this is the first time numbers have made an appearance again. Numbers as bases. So I need you to take note of the difference between a number as just a number or a number that's being treated as a base when it has an exponent. Because this 2 and this 3 could have just been x and y, then it would have looked pretty much the same as this. So when they have powers or exponents, treat them like bases, not like numbers. So I've got a base of 2 and I've got a base of 3. So let's see. Again, I'm going to stick with my shortcut. I'm going to subtract the smaller from the bigger. So 8 minus 3 gives me 5. The larger one was in the denominator, so 2 to the power 5 will be in the denominator. Then when we move on to the 3's, 12 minus 8 gives me 4. The larger power was in the numerator, so my answer will be in the numerator. And you can go and find the answer to this. 3 to the power 4 will be 81. And 2 to the power 5 will be 32. And you can see if that can be simplified. 81, 32, possibly. No. Odd and even, not going to happen. So it's going to stay like that. We're also not going to expect you to even go to 81 over 32. You're going to leave it as 3 to the power 4 over 2 to the power 5. Okay. I'm going to stop there for now. Next time we'll look at the combination of law 1 and 2 when we do them at the same time. And then we'll move into the third and fourth law with the combination as well, and then the mixed examples where we use all 4 laws.